Sports-A-Delic, what is happening? I am Reem, or I should say what's left of Reem. I have had an incredible day, but God is still good, through it all. I have a hell of a team here to keep me organized because I was getting ready to do this show and we were into it and I hadn't even recorded it. So my ladies always come through and paying attention. I like that. But Pearl, she's our matriarch. She keeps all of us, straight. And as you know, if you've been tuning in, she is straight, not shaken, not stirred, straight. Okay. So if you don't want it straight, go somewhere else. But hey, we are the Bald and Beautiful Alopecia Foundation. These wonderful ladies that you see in front of me are ambassadors. We have a special guest tonight coming at us from Duncan, South Carolina, Lakita Porter. She's not just a ambassador. She's not just someone who has alopecia. She's someone that masters, the care of hair, and as well as this condition. She decided to join us tonight. We want to give some feedback and some good education to parents who have children that may very well be suffering, because we know children can be very cruel. So come on over here in the studio. I want you all to chop it up with us, and we're going to get into it, ladies. Let's do it. Let's do it. What's up? What's up?
Hey, y'all.
Hey. How's everybody?
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Guys, I'm excited about tonight. Our topic is alopecia, in children. We recognize that it's children, it's men, it's women. Alopecia does not discriminate. It cares nothing about how much money you make or don't make. It doesn't care if you like or dislike. It just is. And let's give a warm tappy tap tap to Lakita Porter for joining us.
Thank you.
She specializes. I'm gonna let her tell her own story. We're grateful and thankful that you decided to join us and become an ambassador. I could not be, more happy. A lot of people constantly ask me, why are you doing this? You don't have alopecia. I start out by saying, you don't know what I have. That's number one. You don't know what I have. But then if my friends have, then I have. I think if you care and you genuinely a humanitarian, anything that your friends, loved ones, family members are going through, you go through it with them. And it's been educational, for me, and I love to learn. So what I want everyone to do is introduce themselves, give some tidbits about your background, who you are, and what makes you unique and why you're doing what you're doing. But we want to start with our special guest, Lakita, spelled with a C.
Right. Yes. So hello, everyone. My name is Lakita Porter, but most of my friends call me Kita, so I'm Kita. But on Facebook, I am Lakita, aka Kita Distinctive Diva Porter. I have been a hairstylist legally for 26 years, but I've really been a hairstylist for over 30 years. I started doing hair when I was a little girl. My mama thought it was
illegally.
Yeah, illegally. Trapping out my mama's kitchen. All my friends in the neighborhood, my cousins and everybody. So fast forward, 1996, I got legal. I got legalized in the state of South Carolina. And then in 2015, I became a licensed instructor. But in 2019, I unmasked something that I had been hiding for 19 years, which was alopecia. I had alopecia. And I had hid for 19 years, just covering up with wigs, braids, whatever I could hide up under. That's what I did. And finally, I decided to go to the doctor. So through a series of going back and forth to the doctor, to them finally doing a biopsy, that's when they discovered I had an unspecified case of alopecia. So while I had my spiel ready for the doctor about I didn't want the injections. I didn't really want to deal with the creams. He tore all of that down, because what he told me was, because I had an unspecified case of alopecia, there was no treatment for me. So my treatment, I had to be my own treatment. And so I had to fall madly in love with myself, and I had to learn how to block out the outside chatter. And I had to learn that everybody's opinion of what I was getting ready to do was their opinion, and it was one of the cheapest commodities on earth. It had no value for me. So I fell in love with myself. I went to my friend's barbershop on June 1st, 2019, and he cut the rest of the little bit of hair I had left off my head. And so since 2019, I have been rocking my bald and beautiful crown.
Well, good for you. You know, now let me ask you this question. How tall are you not? Something tells me you're short and you're a spark plug. Am I correct about that? Could that be possibly true?
That's a little correct. In my mind, I'm 7 feet, but logically, I'm 5 foot. I'm 5 foot.
I knew it. You know, but thank you for that, and thank you for joining us. And I asked the ladies a question, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. I think I know the answer. I said, hey, if your hair suddenly grew back tomorrow, then what? So you fill that in. If all of your hair grew back tomorrow, then what?
I'll probably keep cutting it.
Right.
I figured
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, it's so freeing.
It is.
Because I am jealous of one of our ambassadors, because I had to go through this whole shaving process earlier today, and
right.
Any little slip can be dangerous, and
right.
I got a couple of nicks. It's bad.
Yeah.
But thank you again for joining us. Now we have someone new, Riley.
Hello.
Why don't you share with the viewers who you are and why you're here, why this is important to you?
Well, I am Riley Andrea, and it's actually my name in reverse. I also go by The Female Red Pill, which is a platform for my podcast that will be coming out soon. But I have the pleasure of knowing these beautiful women, Lasita, and I always pronounce your name wrong, don't I?
It's okay. It's okay.
Because it's the C in it that takes me away from just saying Lakita for some reason. So,
it's okay.
Yeah. In the blue movement, and coming together in that formation was just I think the doorway for me to say, not only had I embraced my boldness, but knowing there were so many women out here that were doing the same thing. And when she created that movement, she brought in young girls as well. And there was mothers as well that had to deal with that situation with husbands and children. So my form of alopecia is both frontal fibrosing and male pattern. So, and I say that because I don't think I truly took and understood what was going on with me at the age of 29, when I thought, because I did a permanent color and a permanent perm, at the same time, the burning of my follicles is what I thought I had. And at that time, it was a very, very, very challenging experience for me, because I was one of those at high school, they called me Woodstock because I had hair everywhere, And so to go from that and then literally burn my hair with chemicals to what I thought. But understanding my situation, my family on my mom's side always struggled with hair problems. Some extent of family members that never had hair at all. And then my dad having a receding hairline. So I guess I was going to have that trait at some point. But the encouragement of it, like Keita, going to that barbershop, I think it was the moment for me. And I went through every hairstyle and The mohawk was the last for me with braid. And I went to my barber and I was like, you know what, just cut it off. And he looked at me and he said, are you serious? I said, yeah, let's just cut it off. But his response to when it was off was, I think, the light for me that said, this is who I am and I'm accepting this and I'm very happy with who I am. The confidence in me was the strength in reverse of Samson, if you would. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so he said to me, your head is beautiful. You could have rocked this a long time ago. So my reason for being a part of this foundation, and I'm glad to be a part with such beautiful ladies, is that we need to empower and educate and uplift every woman, man, child that's going through the same situation and doesn't have the confidence or the understanding. And I think that's the key, the understanding of what alopecia is. So I continue to say I'm the baby of the bunch, but but I'm here to make sure that this mission that we have as a collective, we empower and we take this world by storm.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that, and certainly welcome.
Thank you.
It was an interesting experience because God bless Tracy. She tried to warn us before you got there. She was inviting a storm, a hurricane, with an array of sunshine and pots of gold and all that. It was a lot. It was a lot. But glad that you are here, and the original Panama Jacks. Reintroduce yourself, ladies, and so we can get into our discussion.
Well, my name is Tracy, and I've had alopecia since I was in my 20s, but I, like Lakita said, I just wore wigs, covered my head up and everything. But when my daughter got cancer, I was able to cut my hair because she had chemotherapy. And actually today is her death date, so I'm feeling some kind of way. But I'm gonna make it. I can handle it,
Sending love, sending love, sending love.
I appreciate that. Yeah, but I was so happy that
did you feel that?
I did. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. But I'm just happy that I was able to embrace myself as well and just take the wig off. See, the wig was keeping me stuck from really embracing who I was.
To mute because I'm having a hard time. The feedback. Go ahead, Tracy.
Okay, I was just saying the wig was keeping me stuck, and a lot of times that hair does keep you stuck from really embracing the person that you really are. So I'm just grateful that I finally did. My husband was happy. He was sick of the wig. He thought that was the ugliest squirrel on the top of my head that he could ever imagine. But
wait, hold on. Wait, this just in. Okay. James says hello.
Hello.
I'm not messing with you, Reem. But anyway.
Breaking news.
But anyway, I'm just glad that that's over with. And like Riley said, it's just important to really help other people understand who they are, love themselves, so they can get a understanding, embrace themselves, so they can keep moving forward without having fear. Because a lot of us live in that fear, and we're unable to just grasp who we can really become because of it. People put so much emphasis on hair. It's not that big of a deal because it's all about your heart, not your hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Encyclopedia.
Hey, James.
Oh, hello. I'm Angie. I have alopecia universalis. It has perks. My hair fell out when I was 48 years old. As everybody's story, I hid. I was scared. I didn't think I was beautiful. I didn't think I was attractive. And I just started speaking life to myself and saying who God said I was. He said I was fearfully and wonderfully made. So I decided one day to take my wig off and go outside I cringed, but I dared somebody to say something. And I just embrace being bold and I love it. So I want to do this. I am an ambassador because I really believe that people need to be free. Freedom feels good and it also looks good. You can look and see it. You can see our features. We don't have any bangs, no hair swooped over our eye. You can see who we are. And this is who we don't mind being. And I definitely don't mind being me.
Amen to that. Straightforward, not shaken, not stirred.
Hello, my name is Pearl, and I was diagnosed with alopecia when I was 35 years old. That was 4 months after giving birth to my fourth child. So here I am 22 years later. 2 years ago, I decided to cut my hair. I have what's called CCA, which is scarring alopecia. And of course, when you have scarring alopecia, your hair will not grow back. And so I am on a mission with the rest of these women to educate individuals about this hair loss condition. Not only are we having this platform for women, but it's for children and men as well. And we're on a mission because we do want individuals to know what alopecia is and to understand the cause, because there's over 13 different types. So it's not just one type of alopecia. And so we would like for you guys to join us on this journey that we're taking to help educate for those individuals that are suffering from the same condition.
Yes, thank you for that. Now, I want to jump right into this discussion, Ms. Lakeisha. I have seen, just over the stretch of my life, I've seen a lot of women in particular do a lot of things, with their hair that I would have never attempted, because I was always concerned about what is the end product of that. I mean, I know it might look nice and cute right now, but what is the downside? And it breaks my heart when I see these little babies, they're like 6, 7 years old, and they have all of this tight braids and hair weave. So could you discuss with the viewers some of the dangers? Because we're not coming down on the hair industry, but I think it can fragment a young lady's self-esteem because she never actually see herself in the as is when they're all dolled up at such a young age. But would you talk to the viewers about particularly what that does, or the potential of what it could do as it relates to scarring alopecia?
This is such a wide thing, because not only do you have parents sometimes that can't maintain their children's hair, and so they decide to put a relaxer in it, or they decide to put these braids and these beads, and they don't understand the braid alone is heavy. The bead adds extra weight to that little bitty small head, to that hair. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. And what has happened now, people have been licensed to braid in their homes. They get these braiders license, and so they're free to run amok pretty much. The state has not, they need to crack down on it, because now it's becoming a pandemic now. Because now you see little girls that already, at 5 and 6 don't have edges. And so that is just creating a situation to come. And a lot of time, you see the parent with a head full of weave. And so then you look at the child trailing behind, the child looks the same exact way. And, it's just something that is out of control. Even like for me, my granddaughter, she just turned 4. And, as a mother, with my girls, I braided their hair, but it was very seldom that I added hair to their hair. But now she's 3 and she gets the braids down to her shoulders, the beads, and so you can hear her coming from a mile away. And so, you know, it's gonna, and these young girls, they don't listen. They think they know everything. They have all the answers. And, you know, YouTube has its perks, but YouTube is also dangerous because a lot of times these hairstylists, these kitchen beauticians are going to YouTube University to learn how to do these new styles. And it's very detrimental to the hair. And, you know, like I have a young lady that was in my group. She started losing her hair at 8, and her grandmother and mother thought that she was cutting her hair. Well, she got her first lace front at 8 years old. Now, fast forward. Yeah. Now, fast forward 38 years. She's 38 years old. She's afraid to even take off the wig. She's a beautiful girl. And she always tells me, you know, you're so strong. No, God is no respecter of person. The same strength that I have, you have it too. But you have to take your power back from people, because that's what we oftentimes do. We give our power to other people. But there are some mothers. It's a little girl, and this is the little girl, I'm rocking her shirt, Haley Daly. Her mother lets her rock her ball crown. So she's when she gets older, she's not going to have to worry about, well, I don't feel pretty. She's been validated and been affirmed in her beauty from as a little bitty girl. Now she's going to be an adult and she's going to be okay rocking her ball crown. It's another little girl, Aya. I think her name is Jaya, but her mom calls her Aya. I think she may be 6 now. But she's been rocking her ball crown since she was a little girl. Now her mom does let her put wigs on, but she totally understands that she is beautiful without that wig, rocking her ball crown. And you know,
it's just hard to imagine because, like I said earlier, you know, kids can be cruel.
Yes.
And a lot of times, and I think to your point, Tracy, you talked about this before. You don't even realize what's happening to you, especially if you don't have that education. Can you all talk to the viewers? Because I see a lot of stuff on Facebook where I see parents are posting, and they have a picture and they like, is this alopecia? What are some of the things, I would say signs and symptoms that they could be looking for with their children?
When you start to see the slick, shiny spots, that's alopecia.
I have a question.
When their hair starts to itch, because sometimes as the hair follicle dies, your hair will itch profusely, like out of control. And so if you start to start experiencing like severe itching, like out of the norm, the hair follicle is dying. When you start to see like clean, slick, shiny spots, the hair is coming out from the head, like out of the scalp. It's not breakage; it's coming completely out.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
There was a.
Excuse me, 1 second, Tracy. You said you had a question.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, you know, I think that we need to really teach our children about their natural hair. You know. Because we were just kind of taught that straight hair is beautiful hair.
Right.
You know, with the perm and all that. But then it's like, okay, you wear your hair natural. Then people call it nappy or kinky. It's like, you can't win for losing sometimes. So we really need to teach our kids to love the hair that they were born with, which is natural, coarse, you know, and stuff like that. So.
All right. Okay.
And I do know that we have audience that are not just from the African American culture. We have audience that are of all culture. I know there's a young lady who reached out to me earlier. She said her daughter bedtime was at 7 and she wouldn't be able to tune in to watch the show. But what is it that we can say to the young girls and boys that are dealing with this of all culture, and just teach them how important it is to love themselves. What type of encouragement can we give them?
Continuously tell them that they are beautiful,
Yeah.
that they are amazing.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, like I said before, it's always the parents, because we as parents want to protect our children at any cost. So a lot of times children don't even understand what's going on, but because the parent is so worried about what somebody would say or what they think, they just snatch the child up and just start running with them and taking them. And now the kid is looking like, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Right.
So I think that the parents need to be dealt with also, because they need to be encouraged, because a lot of them don't know what to do. And all they're trying to do is protect them, but not knowing that they're causing damage at the same time.
And a lot of times with parents, the first thing they go to is to cover it up.
Right.
That's their first go-to. Their first go-to is to mask the situation. Their first go-to is to purchase a wig. And that just can't be the case now, because children are cruel even in school. So now they're snatching wigs off in the school. And there are no consequences for what they're doing. There was a young girl. That's bullying to the highest level. It was a young girl a few weeks ago, Rio. Her name was Rio. She killed herself because she was being bullied because she had alopecia. And that was one of the things, that thing rocked me to my core. But what I said, and I stand in this truth, God truly has a sense of humor, because there is no way that I could have had alopecia in grade school and somebody snatched my wig off, because they would have caught these hands. Because see, when I was in grade school, I used to have a bad habit of not being able to keep my hands to myself because I was so small, because they always bothered me. I didn't have a problem with letting them feel it. And so, I just say, God, I thank you. Because see, in that situation, they probably would have kicked me slam out of school. Because the first time my wig would have been snatched, that probably would have been the first and the last. Because most of the time, with a bully, all you need to do is get one.
Yes.
But there has to be a system set up for the school system, because they're gonna have to get in front of this bullying, because it's happening too much. Nobody should have to go to school and have their wig snatched off. And the same young lady that I was talking about that got her first lace front at 8 years old, she said that she adopted such a nasty attitude, and she was really not that person, but she had to have that tough, hard shell to keep people at bay and keep people off of her. And that's a hard thing to do, knowing that you're really not a mean person, but you have to be a mean person to protect yourself. And so, the school, and again with parenting, the parents they are going to have to get in front of this and stop trying to cover it up. Like for me, my oldest daughter was being bullied at school, and I was calling the school, and they just kept telling me, if we don't see it, we can't do anything about it. If we don't see it, we can't do anything about it. And my last straw was when she called me crying, because I knew with her crying, if they done something else to her, somebody was going to be in trouble, because as parents, you know your children. And so what I did, I went to the police station and I talked to the police. And he told me, he said, you go back to the high school. I went back to high school, and it was taken care of that day. The resource officer and the head principal was waiting on me when I got there. And so as parents, we're going to have to be proactive. If we don't get a result here, we're going to have to go there. We're going to have to go there. We have to go as far as we have to go to make sure our children are protected.
Yeah, I think the saddest thing that I seen was a young lady. I was getting my nails done, and she was crying because she did not want to get her nails done. She had this wild design. I mean, it was beyond Rapunzel. I mean, her hair was longer than the interstate, and she was crying. She didn't want to. And one of the ladies said, "Oh, why are you crying? You're so beautiful. You're so pretty." And she said, "I don't like this." And the mother says right there in front of the shop, I'm trying to have her understand how she's supposed to look as a girl. And I said, "Hey, look, I work with troubled youth, and whether you know it or not, greater than 30% of the pedophiles in the world are children. And when we start dressing up, these young girls to look like grown women, for someone that's dealing with those type of issues, they just see what they see,
Right.
and then I can understand where, or let me ask you all this. You may privately see a spot or something. Is that what happens? The first thing you do is try to cover it up with extra braiding and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
A wig, whatever.
so let me
Yeah.
ask you this. So there may be a correlation here. There might be higher numbers than meets the eye.
Oh, it is.
Hey.
It definitely is. You have a lot of women that are suffering in silence. You
Yep.
have a lot of women, and I get this all the time. Oh, ain't no way I could just wear my hair bald. Okay, so that's why I'm me and you're you.
Exactly.
And it's nothing that you can say about me rocking my bald crown that I'll be okay with hiding up under a wig. I've already did that. I did that for 19 years. I ain't going back. If I want to put on a wig now, I put it on because I want to. But that is the first thing,
I
and a
think we
lot
have
of
to. Excuse me for cutting you off, but I think we have to peel back because I can assure you the power that I had at 18, I didn't have when I was 9.
right.
And so, with children, uh, I could see where it creates a monster because they're going to get tired of being called bald headed,
Bald
or,
head.
and then sometimes, from what I understand, how this condition happens, you could actually have the spot, in the back somewhere and not even be aware until a classmate,
Mhm.
starts to make you feel bad about it. And then they lash out, like you said, to your point, Lakita, the school, we don't see it. Somebody got to see and hear something,
Yeah.
so I guess
And
please
see,
share with the viewers, each of you, share with the viewers maybe things that these parents really need to pay attention to at the house or when they're around their friends that says something is going on deeper than, that meets the surface here.
I think that with the school system that they need to be you meet with the liaison or whatever. I think they have school liaisons and have
mhm.
little meetings where you can speak to parents and just have one of us or some of us go in there and have meetings to speak with the parents that are going through this. I mean, there should be a way for
Yeah.
that to happen,
Okay.
so you can kind of let the parents get a better understanding, because a lot of these parents, they're not thinking clearly, they're
Mm-mm.
doing their thing. They're not really paying attention to their kids like they're supposed to.
Mm-mm.
They're really quick and ready to do that microwave solution,
Fix.
whatever
Yeah.
that microwave fix. Get it done,
And
let's go,
And
and see,
I think that's where the suffering and silence starts, because the focus is not what it used to be in the households, and
mhm.
moms as well as dads are either working harder or spending more
Yeah.
time away from the home, and these kids don't have anybody to talk to about what they're going through, and then they probably don't know how to talk to them about what they're going through, so they're suffering,
Right.
and they get
Yeah.
these friends that it's the new fad. You can get some hair. That's all they
Mhm.
got.
Right.
You know?
And see, a lot of times people don't understand. Some alopecia, some hair loss comes from a fungus.
Mhm.
And so when you're taking your children to this person's kitchen and you're taking your children to that person's kitchen, and I'm not even going to say just a kitchen. Sometimes you are taking them to certain salons and
Right.
they're not disinfecting their implements correctly. They're not sterilizing their combs. They're not sterilizing the clips or the things that they are putting in your hair, and they're putting them in everybody's hair. And it hasn't seen any soap and water. It hasn't seen any barbicide. It hasn't seen any of that. And so sometimes a fungus starts, and see, a fungus left untreated can cause alopecia.
Right.
And so a lot of times
Okay,
these
wait,
parents,
hold on. When you say fungus, are you talking about what is it? What's it
like
called? Tetra?
like a ringworm.
Ringworm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Stuff like
But
that? Okay.
yeah. But some of the funguses, like my little cousin, she had a fungus, and she has massive hair. She came in this world with massive head of hair, and she had a bald spot in her head about that big. But it was because my cousin had been taking her to this place and that place, so they really don't know where it came from. But the bald spot was completely clean. And so when she went to the doctor referred her to the dermatologist. They gave her a cream and a shampoo, and it cleared up and her hair grew back because she got in front of it. But you have some of these parents that they're busy living life. And so when the bald spot comes, they just say, "Oh, well, let's get some bundles and cover it up."
Exactly.
And it becomes a snowball effect, and to the point where it's untreatable. And that hair follicle is completely dead now, and so it's nothing that you can do.
Exactly.
Angie, can you share with the viewers about I think some more subtle indicators?
Well,
Because I think it's different, because we're hearing that it can be the beginning from a fungus, and you can have, if I'm not mistaken, you can have more than one type of alopecia
Yeah.
going on at the same time, and
Yeah.
yeah,
you know
because
But
some of the alopecias are one and the same.
right.
Well, when my son was younger, he had ringworms, but it went underneath his skin. So he had a bunch of bald spots with like pus bumps and all of this stuff in it from some dirty clippers. When I took him to the
Mm,
doctor, they had gave him some liquid and some stuff to put on his head. But his grandmother, she made some type of old fashioned and some Vaseline and stuff. But when I came back to get him, his head had cleared up. But like for me, when I first noticed mine, it started as a bald spot in the back. It started as a bald spot in the back, and then it was receding in the front. So I had a weave on my head, and I was scratching it, and all the hair was popping off. So I
mm.
basically had a flap. So as she cut it off, and she, it was all out, I was standing there like, I had to put on a strong face, like, I'm just gonna go shave it off. But when I walked out, I was crying. But like Patamel baldness, you lose the top of your crown. Um, like the scarring and let's see, the CCC alopecia are the same because it starts from under
yeah.
the follicles in your hair. The follicles die from getting this tight braids, and you can notice because you'll get the pus bumps around your
Yeah.
head. And then the I
And,
don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's like stasis alopecia, where the back of your hair starts to bald.
and traction alopecia.
Right.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Well, Pearl, um, I know that you said in another, in another show, uh, you were talking about. I want to be sure that I put this out here right. You were talking about the fact that you know people may have this condition, and they suffer in the silence. But the flip side is uh, there's no place for them to really go and talk to people. So would you talk to the viewers about how they can get in touch with us, what we're doing, what's coming up?
Yes, for the individuals that pretty much don't know much about alopecia, even the mothers out there whose children are dealing with this alopecia, now you have a platform. You can reach us at BBAF ambassador at gmail.com with any issues, suggestion, questions you may have, because we're here to assist you. Now you do have that platform, and I know a lot of parents, this is new to you. It's new, and you don't know where to go. Again, I wanted to piggyback on what Tracy said about the schools. You have pat rallies at your schools. Now it's time to bring in, ambassadors to talk to the entire school, so those children can be educated that this is not a condition to laugh at, so they can support their fellow students. For those, once you learn, you will do better, because if you don't know, you won't do better. You just won't. And for the children, I want to talk to the children, because I know there's a lot of children that'll probably be looking at this tomorrow. They couldn't stay up to watch it tonight. If someone tells you that you're not pretty, it's okay. It's okay, because anybody can be pretty, but not everybody can be beautiful.
That's right.
See, a person who is pretty could have the most nasty, evil spirit, just like the individuals that are bullying you, teasing you, making fun of you. Those are people that are pretty. But when you're beautiful, it starts on the inside and reflect on the outside. So beautiful trump pretty any day, anytime. So you need to know that you are a beautiful person, because you are kind, caring, giving, loving, and you treat people the way you want to be treated. So when people are teasing you, it's because they have issues that they're dealing with, and it makes them feel good when they make you feel bad. So always remember that. And for the parents, we're here for you. You now have that platform. If you don't understand something, and if you need someone to talk to, again, contact us at bbafambassadors at gmail.com, and we will definitely get back with you. So this platform is to you. Now it's time to get educated. You're not alone.
Right.
Yes, it is.
Now, I don't want to leave out the fellas, because shockingly, I've been getting a lot of direct messages from men in particular, because that's why your Rogaines and stuff is popular, because I think a lot of men dismiss alopecia as just being hereditary, which it still can be. Like, oh, well, my dad has a receding hairline, but maybe not at 8 years old. Maybe it's something else. When they start to bald in the crown, they just always dismiss it as, oh, well, my dad was bald. Is there a way that men could, get checked out? It's the same process. Let me say it that way.
Dermatologist.
Yeah. It's
They
the
have
same
to go to your
process.
dermatologist.
Yeah.
Go to your dermatologist to get it checked out. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, let me ask you all this question. Why people want to know the cure, the cure, the cure, the cure. And I see a lot of stuff on Facebook about use this, try this, do that. And I know that just eats you up, Pearl, when you hear that. So go ahead and go ahead and speak on it. I know you.
Well, a lot of women are where I was about 20 years ago. I see some of the posts on Facebook that they're trying this product, using this product. Been there, done that. Scarring alopecia, CCCA, scarring alopecia, it won't grow back. It won't. And I don't want to bust anyone's bubble by saying you're wasting your time, but I know that you have to go through this process in order for you to accept the fact that it's not working.
Right.
So I've been there, I've done that. I did the plasma. I did the Rogaine. I did all of the stuff that was out there, tried the different products, and people are quick to say, "Oh, well, I saw this product, it'll make your hair grow." Yeah, you saw that product and it'll make all the hair grow on my head where the follicles are not damaged, but that's not what I need. I need for the follicles to grow in the area that is scarred, and that's not going to happen. So again, I just don't want anyone to keep wasting their money because, like I said, most of us have experienced this for years, and we've gone through products. Trust me. And so a lot of you are where we were 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
I just want to say this too. They do this tattooing, and I personally don't recommend that at all, because you're going to have to keep doing that over and over again. And who can say what that ointment is or that tattoo ink is doing to your brain cells?
Right.
You know, I would not recommend that at all. I mean, it's just a temporary look. I mean, I understand about the eyebrows, because I know, and you get your eyebrows done.
I still do.
But I'm talking about, you getting your head, you nick all over just to have what do you call that, Caesar or whatever?
A hairline.
A hairline.
Yeah.
Just to look like you have a hairline.
Yeah,
It's shaded, just shading it. Yeah.
And not only that, it's toxic.
Yeah, very.
You're putting that into your bloodstream.
Because
it's the same thing with glue.
Yeah, because you really don't know what it's made of, and a lot of times, like the FDA, they are approving a whole lot of stuff that shouldn't be approved, and so you really don't know what that stuff is made of that's going into your bloodstream, because it's like you're trying to fix one problem, now you're about to create another problem.
Yeah.
Now, Riley, why don't you tell the viewers before we get out of here what we have coming up and how the bodies that we need and why we need them and what we're growing and aspiring to become. Meantime, I'm going to always, as I do, seal our wonderful, wonderful conversation. And Tracy, I didn't have an opportunity to know your daughter, but
that's all right.
I've gotten an opportunity, to know you. Yeah. So I know she was a wonderful spirit.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. And I will celebrate, this homegoing day, with you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And Pearl, you can feel free to jump in, as there may be some things additional that I'm just going to speak on. I know that we are preparing for Alopecia Month. We're doing a 5K run.
Yes, in September, we're doing the 5K run, which will be through our foundation, Bald and Beautiful Alopecia Foundation. We're also setting up an ambassador membership for our foundation. So it will be a yearly membership where you will join as a member and you will get the ambassador polo shirt. So you will officially be an ambassador through Bald and Beautiful Alopecia Foundation. So we're looking forward to doing great things. We're also going to offer scholarship to our young brothers and sisters that want to pursue a career by going to college, and it will be for the individuals that has the alopecia condition. So we are looking to really educate the community about this alopecia condition that is out there, because right now a lot of people do not know it even exists. New mothers don't even know how to handle it. So again, this platform is for you.
But wait a minute, let me just say this one thing. The word alopecia only means baldness. So everyone takes that word alopecia. It only means baldness. What is attached to that word?
Right. The hurt, the pain,
right?
The shame,
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I also we will continue. I'm sorry, Lakita, go ahead.
A lot of times, you have to, and for me, I like to ask people sometimes, who were you before you lost your hair? because the same person you were before you lost your hair, you're still that same person.
That's right.
You know,
you. One of the
right. And sometimes it's okay to reinvent you.
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we, as women, we hide behind our hair. So when that hair is gone, we don't know who we are. We're
Right.
lost.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
used to be one of those women because I was scared. Again, Tracy, piggybacking off of your story, and I didn't leave that out. I would never let my husband see my head, but it was torture. Because trying to sleep in a wig and trying to uphold this facade of just trying to be really at that time. If I think about it now, as being somebody I wasn't, and now I'm
Fake.
potential that I
Yeah.
am loving me.
Right. Right.
So, but
I rem-
we will continue, Pearl, and to piggyback off of what you were saying, we will be continuing to do PSAs, all of us collectively, to let this get this message out and to
Right.
help every one of women, men, and children. And we are looking to do empowerment circles, engagements, speaking engagements. Nikita, I know you already are doing some of those. We're going to increase that.
Thank you.
Bring some of
Thank you.
on, and even down to Gator. So we got a lot coming.
Thank you.
And
And
we are a vessel here.
And can I put the plug in for True Blue Movement?
Yes.
Yeah, plug it in.
Yeah.
Plug it in.
So
We certainly don't want to get these hands. So please
no,
do what you gonna do. Do what you gonna do, please.
look, the things that I used to do, I don't do no more.
Plug all you want to, okay?
But on in September, September 10th, it'll be September 10th this year. We will be doing True Blue Movement again. I started the Alopecia Awareness Walk last year. And it was phenomenal, but I'm believing God that it's going to continue to increase, because a lot of people still, especially in the state of South Carolina, they don't really understand, everybody equates bald with sick, for whatever reason. And that's just not the case. And so I just want to bring more awareness. I want to be that touch point for the people that don't have anywhere to go, or don't have anyone to speak to. On Saturday, I will be speaking at a mental health awareness conference, talking about alopecia. And a friend of mine, he was like, "Well, I didn't know you had mental health issues." I said, "Well, yeah, doing the things that I was doing when I was hiding my alopecia, yeah, I was certified."
Yeah.
And so, I just thank God that I have the voice now to speak about it and be free, because this is complete freedom. And just to say, like, for my son, my daughters are grown, but my son was entering high school when I decided to take my wig off. And so he and I had a conversation, because not only can children be cruel to someone suffering with alopecia, children can also be cruel talking about people's bald head mamas.
Right.
And that's what I didn't want him, because he's kind of like a quiet storm. It takes a lot, but he's not going to have anybody talking about his mama. And so, so when he and I had the conversation, that's the first thing he said. If somebody says something about your bald head, they're going to catch these. And I said, no, you're not going to pass out hands, because you got a good mama. And it doesn't matter what people say about me. You've got to understand, people are going to talk regardless. People talk when I had a head full of hair, and they're going to continue to talk. But you have to know who your mama is, and it don't bother me. So now when I go to Burger King and little boy's like, "Hey, you Cam's mom," I told Kamar, and I said, "Kamar, everybody know your bald head mama." and so he still just kind of be like, he don't like it, but I'm okay with it. And like I tell him, I don't look like nobody's mama at the school. So when I show up, everybody know this Cam's mama.
Mm-hmm. You're unique.
That's why you don't like
You're different.
Yeah. And certainly let me say, we do not condone violence, but we do encourage folks
No, we don't we don't
to
condone.
defend themselves. If you get inside of somebody's personal space in their face, you're gonna get some hands. We're not condoning. We are encouraging people to stay back.
Peace and love. Peace
Get
and
up out
love.
of people's face. Get up out of people's face because they're coming for you. And again, as always, thank you guys, for
Absolutely.
being willing to work in this space and share, your stories. Because it's one thing to share with family members, a couple of friends. When you come on these platforms, you're sharing it literally with the world. And certainly, Lakita, the counseling, mental health, that's, my space. People talk a lot about gateway drugs. They don't talk about gateway conditions because the condition is alopecia. But what, like you said, Angie, what's attached to that? Well, my self-esteem is low. So I'm going to try to do something to pick myself up in the form of, let's just say, cocaine. And then, I'm drinking, and then I'm pushing my spouse away, so I'm not receiving love. And it all started, with the alopecia. And maybe some of you all have been there, like literally been right. We know the hands committee, we know she's been there, but I'm saying, in other ways, people have been there, is what I'm saying. So, and we look forward, Lakita. I know exactly how far Duncan, South Carolina is. And so we're going to encourage you to shut it down and join us on some of these Saturdays.
Oh, definitely. I wish I could join you all this Saturday, but not only am I speaking Saturday, my son decided he want to go to the prom. So yeah.
He decided he's trying to make a baby. What did he say? What did you say?
No. No.
I'm sorry I thought I heard that. I'm sorry.
No.
Have that conversation with him.
Oh yeah. We've already had that conversation. We've already had
Ladies,
that
are there any closing remarks before we get out of here?
I'm just going to say, tell yourself that you're beautiful every day.
Every day?
Every day, because you are absolutely amazing. And we can get through this together.
Yes.
So beautiful, not pretty.
That's right. There's a difference.
Yes.
I would say,
yeah, Tracy. Yeah.
I would say, parents, educate yourself before you get scared and snatch your child up and have the child thinking that something's wrong with them.
Right.
Yeah, that's deep right there. That's deep. Yeah. Okay.
And for those of you that will be looking at this video, if you would like to be a guest on our show, please send us an email at bbafambassador@gmail.com, because we would love to have you on the show. We would love to hear your stories. A mother with children, if you want to appear on the show as well. This foundation is for men, women, and children. So guys that are out there, if you want to be a guest to share your story as well, please do. Please reach out to us.
Yeah. And always remember to affirm yourself. Don't wait for somebody to affirm you. You affirm yourself. You tell yourself that you're beautiful. You tell yourself that you're a masterpiece. You tell yourself that, you are created. You handpicked by God.
Right.
So, it doesn't matter what somebody else says. It's what you say about yourself, because 10 people are going to have 10 different opinions, but it's going to matter the facts that you speak about yourself. So love yourself over anything.
Absolutely.
Ms. Riley, you have any closing
And
remarks?
I want to say the same thing. Just love yourself.
Well, and there you have it. My closing remarks is always thank you. Can't wait for Saturday. And Saturday, I'm always looking forward to, the Thursdays. It's been a real, treat, because I have a pretty action-packed life. It has more action now.
With us.
Yes.
Yeah. But it's fun. And I really do appreciate you guys. And, get at us, BBAF ambassadors with an S at gmail.com. Become ambassador. You may be interested in being a director. We're going to talk to anybody that wants to be part of what we're doing, because it's just that important. We want children, we want men, we want it all. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to my current subscribers, and welcome to my new subscribers. And make sure we share this video on all platforms, because it has the power to heal.
Absolutely. All right.
All right.
Till the next time, ladies.
All right. Good night. Thank you for having me.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you for
Have
accepting.
the rest of your week.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. My pleasure. Enjoy the rest of this week. It's almost gone, but we're gonna make the best of what's left.
That's right.
That's right.
Notice she said my pleasure, so she must have used to work for Chick-fil-A.
No, I just hang out there a lot.
Well, have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Good night.
You too.